And I'm Leo. We're here to do another beginner's class, but today we're going to do something whereby we're going to show you some of the more advanced actions, and then Lynn will be demonstrating those more advanced actions. Lynn, as some of you will already know, is a senior Iyengar Yoga teacher. We're both experienced Iyengar Yoga teachers, but Lynn owns and runs this centre here. And then I will show the slightly modified versions of the poses that are less extreme.
Yes, Upavistha Konasana variations we're going to go through today. These poses are really helpful for the hamstrings, the groins, but also quite a struggle when you first start yoga. So I'm going to show you the classic action. Some of you may be a little bit more fluid and mobile than others. And as we said, Leo will show you a slightly modified version. All right.
So I'm going to move off the mat so Lynn can show you some of these actions. Now, we don't want anybody to hurt themselves, so you'll look at these and only those of you who've got a lot of mobility in the body should really be attempting this at this stage. But it's nice to see the classic actions, to see where you're going to. You can see here that Lynn is very upright. She's not sinking. Her legs are wide, and the backs of her legs are on the floor.
Yes, that's a really important point. And one of the things that stops you from becoming very grounded in this pose is when the legs are like this, but we're going to show you ways of helping to extend the muscle fibre. Okay, so here's a quick demo. We're going to come for sit-in, so you can just sit for a little while. We're coming into the Parsva action. So to turn towards your left side, extending up, turning the chest. So those of you who have that mobility, you extend forward, keeping the chest nice and open and extending this way. Reach. So I'm not going to be here very long, just going to show you the classic action, coming into the center, coming back, extending. Reaching.
You can see here that Lynn's opposite leg is not coming off the floor when she's doing this, nor is it flopping out to the side. Toes are still pointing to the ceiling, kneecap facing the ceiling on both legs.
Okay, so we come for a Parivritta.
And again, her chest is not facing the floor, it's facing forward. She's rolling and rotating these ribs and keeping that opposite leg firmly anchored down onto the floor. Now, if you're looking at this and thinking, well, that's just ludicrous, I'm not going to be able to do that, that's fine, don't worry, we're coming on to the modified versions of these poses. But for some of you, this will be maybe where you're at in yoga. So this is the forward bending action that she's now going to come into. You can see she's holding her toes, and the whole of the front of the body elongates along the floor. And you can see that her chin is down on the floor, her chest is down onto the floor, but her legs have not turned. They're still the kneecaps facing the ceiling.
Okay, so stage 2. Right.
This is where I come in. I get to do the easy bit. Well, it's not easy, but it's a modification, and it's less demanding and less extreme than those standard classic actions. So I'm only sitting on one blanket here, but it may be that you need to have 2 or more height than this.
Okay, so taking those legs nice and wide. So, just go to where you can manage. Your body will tell you, do not ever force your body. You have to come to that slight edge where, there is a pause, and you have to wait for everything to soften to go a little bit further. So, yeah, certainly. Okay, so we're coming for the Parsva action. So, as you're adjusting, you can see that Leo's adjusting here with her legs, trying to ground them down. So just be there for a few moments, get the length in the legs. Pin down. What's a really good tip is to be on the very centre of the heel bone. That's a really good way to kind of get that extension and length and spread the toes. Okay, so you're going to turn towards your right side, lift up, chest up, and get that turn in action. So instead of going all the way to the foot, you're going to just take that left hand to the outer side of your right thigh. So you may be able to go a little bit further. You're going to get this rotation, 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 and push down so strongly with the legs. If you're able to go a little bit further, you may be able to rest your head onto a brick or to the leg. You can see here that Leo has got the brick. You put it onto the other side of the leg, yes, and then extend forward. Yeah, that's it. So this is really how you just get that pliability of the body, and then release it. So
But it may be that you're not at that stage, and this might be where you're at the stage, and that's fine. Don't kind of motor ahead until your body's ready for it.
Okay, so turning to your left and repeating the action, so extending, lifting up nicely, getting that rotation, and then extending. Okay, so you just go to where you can go to. You can see that on the previous side that Leo was quite capable of moving even to her thigh, and that's fine. But don't compromise on the action. You've got to see that you get that twist and turning action in the spine and the grounded action of the back leg, very important. And then continue to extend. So releasing the head down for a few moments. So you can stay here for a little bit longer if you wish to. We're going to move on now. So coming back to center, lifting up, chest up, breathe, round down with those thighs so nicely, and then we're going to come for the Parivritta action. So when you come for this pose, again, as you remember the demonstration previously, you have to hold on to the foot. That's quite a challenging thing. So we're going to come to the starting action here. So turning towards your left side, and then reach to your right. So you put your elbow onto the support here like this and really get that rotation. Of course, if you go a little bit further, then do so. Don't stop there. Keep going if you can manage it. And if you're able to hold on to the foot, then do so. But that may not be the case. You may have to still keep in that action. And it's like Parsva Konasana action in the upper arm. So you extend the upper arm up and you take it over here. Exactly in this way. This is good. And then coming up out of pose. So we come to the other side now. And again, getting that lift and turn. Remember that the body twists really well when you get length. So you will get length first and get that turn in action. Move in the block, turn, turn, turn. That's it. Now, taking your hand either to the foot or leaving it exactly where it is. See where you are. You can see there with Leo. If you can catch the back of the foot, you're looking to get the thumb round as well to the sole of the foot. But if that's a little bit of a challenge, then you just remain at this foundational stage. Roll the top shoulder back, reaching the arm over the ear, extending into the palm. Okay, so we're not going to hold you too long. And now taking a breath in. Okay, so we come for the classic action now. So if you find that this is a very awkward pose to sit in, then have a couple of ties or a couple of belts and place them around your feet. This is a great way of working because you can get this really wonderful, wonderful lift. So you pull on the belts and then you'll be able to ground down with the legs, you'll be able to lift up with the chest and keep this action. So you can walk the hands along the belt to come into the action. That's it. Always see that your shoulder blades move deeply down and your chest lifts up. So all four bends are an upward action rather than downwards. So they go up to go down. you see the ears going a little bit further, a little bit further. Okay, and it may be at this stage you find that the legs, that's it. That's where they are. They can't go any further. It's a little bit tight in the back of the thigh there. Just remain at this stage. Ground down with your thighs so strongly and lift up again. And just be there for a few minutes. And then we're going to come out of the pose. So release in. So of course if you can go a little bit further, do, but be sure that you're keeping the back of the legs strongly down to the floor.
Do you want to show the
Oh yes, do. That would be great. So when you come forward, you can extend forward onto a break. It's a really nice way of working. You can build up the support. You can pop your head onto a bolster, a chair, whatever you have lying around. Or if you've got some yoga equipment, then the yoga brick would be great. So push down with your thighs. Soft inhalation, soft exhalation. Just let the head completely release and soften. And then, when you're ready, you can come out of the pose. Good. Bringing the legs together. So if you're not used to practicing Upavistha Konasana, it's a good one to practice to get the leg fibers moving, the groins nice and open. And it's a good way to modify the pose as well. And gradually, as time goes on, you'll come into the classic action.
Okay, so maybe if you've joined us today and you'd like to do a little Shavasana, you might remember this from some of the other classes that we did. You can lie down in the centre of your mat. You can take a blanket for your head if it's more comfortable. You shouldn't have your head tilted back, so not like that when you're lying down. If you need a bit of a lift, you can. And you can recline back in your Shavasana with your legs bent.
And you can stay here as long as you wish to. We will be joining you again very soon. If you like our channel, please do subscribe or just press the like button.
And we look forward to seeing you again next week when we're putting up another clip.
Okay. Namaste.
Namaste.